Stanley Caspian sat at the desk, as he always did when he came to 142 for his Saturday morning conference with Arthur Johnson. Arthur sat on the other chair. On the desk were spread the rent books and cheques of the tenants. Stanley wrote laboriously in the rent books. "I'll be glad to see the back of that Dean," he said, when he had inked in the last 50 pence. "Middle of next month, and he'll be gone." "And his gramophone," said Arthur. "I'm sure we'll all be devoutly thankful." "Not Kotovsky. He won't have anyone to go boozing with. Put the kettle on me, old Arthur. I fancy a spot of 11s. And 10s. And 12s, Arthur thought. He wouldn't have dreamed of eating anything at this hour, but Stanley, who was enormously fat, began devouring sandwiches of bread rolls and processed cheese. Arthur watched him inscrutably. Inclining his head towards the door behind him, he said, "A little bird told me you'd let that room." "Right," said Stanley, his mouth full. "I must confess, I was a little put out. You told Miss Chan before telling me. I was a little hurt. After all, I have been here 20 years, and I think I can say I've never caused you a moment's unease." "Right. I only wish they were all like you. The fact is that I wondered how you'd take it. You see, this new chap, he's got the same name as you." "You mean he's called Arthur Johnson?" "No, not as bad as that. He's called Anthony Johnson. You'll have to take care your post doesn't get mixed up. Don't want him reading your love letters, eh?" Arthur's eyes seemed to grow even paler, and the muscles of his face tightened. "I've nothing to hide. My life is an open book." "Maybe his isn't. The sexual behaviour of the human male. That's the sort of open book his life will be. Good-looking young devil he is. Real fly-paper for the girls, I shouldn't wonder." Arthur couldn't bear that sort of talk. It made him feel sick. "I only hope he's got good bank references and a decent job." "Right, he's paid 2 months' rent in advance, and that's better than all your poxy bank references to me. He's moving in Monday. We'll just have a look in, Arthur. Mrs. Caspian says there's a fruit bowl in there she wants." Arthur nodded. He enjoyed penetrating the rooms usually closed to him, and in this one he had a special interest. It was small and furnished with junk. Arthur picked his way over to the window. Stanley, having secured his fruit bowl, was admiring the only object in the place less than 20 years old. "That's a bloody good wash basin, that is," he remarked. "Cost me all of 15 quid to have that put in. Your people did it, I remember." Arthur was staring out of the window, which overlooked a narrow, brick-walled court. In the wall which faced the window was a door. "What you looking at?" said Stanley. "Nothing," said Arthur. "I was just thinking he won't have much of an outlook. What do you expect for 7 quid a week?" "No concern of mine," said Arthur. "I imagine my namesake will be out a lot, won't he?" "If he's got any sense," said Stanley. Arthur prepared his lunch. 2 lamb cutlets, creamed potatoes, runner beans. None of your frozen or canned rubbish for him. Auntie Gracie had brought him up to appreciate fresh food, well cooked. He ended the meal, and then he washed the dishes. One of Auntie Gracie's maxims had been that only slatternly housekeepers leave dirty dishes in the sink. He went into the bedroom. The bed was stripped. He put on clean sheets, rose pink, and rose pillowcases. Arthur couldn't sleep in a soiled bed. Meticulously he dusted the bedroom furniture and polished the silver stoppers on Aunt Gracie's cut-glass scent bottles. He gave the frilly nets a critical stare. They weren't due for a wash for another week, but this was such a grimy district. He began to take them down. For the second time that day he found himself facing the cellar door. The Kotovskis had no window which overlooked it. It could only be seen from his window and from the one in room 2. No one had ever seen him cross that yard, he thought, as he laid the net curtains carefully over a chair. No one had ever seen him enter the cellar. He continued to stare down, considering, remembering. He had been at school with Stanley Caspian, and Stanley had been fat and gross and